you want to go ahead and load for me, that would be amazing. Here we go. Load for me. Alright. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video on the channel today, and today we have another episode of the Superleague series. Today we are taking on Piemonte, which is basically just Juventus. That's all that is, you know, it's the same roster, it's all that. So, last game we played Al Hilal and we lost 4-2. So it's definitely going to be a very tough series because Al Hilal, I was kind of reviewing all these teams, and I think they're a lower team, borderline missing the playoffs each year. So, and as you can see here, they're at the lower tier of that playoff group. So we are taking on Piemonte, which I think is probably one of the stronger teams here. I think Bayern Munich is probably the strongest out of all of them, just because they have more money than just about anyone here. I think Barcelona is really the only one that can keep up, maybe Manchester City. But I think Bayern Munich is definitely a team to look out for. But with that being said, we play Piemonte today. They're definitely going to be a good team. They smoked their last opponent. I think it was, I want to say Dortmund they played. Yep, they played Dortmund and beat them 3-0. And Dortmund, I'd say, is miles above what we are at. So that's going to be a challenge for sure. So the way the A-League, 6 teams here, as you see that with the represents a playoff spot, and then the winner of said playoffs. It's not the Champions League that you think, it's actually the basically it's all of the Asian teams, the best Asian teams in Middle Eastern. So it's like the European one, but not as good. And obviously I have a lot of good teams here throughout the world, so it kind of gives other teams a chance. For example, Bayern Munich and Dortmund aren't consistently taking over the Bundesliga. Barcelona, Atletico Madrid for La Liga, you know, all that. Even though MLS really isn't that big of a deal, and the Irish League is kind of whatever, but Dundalk's definitely going to be one of the lower tier teams throughout this whole series, unless they make some crazy signings, which they don't have the money for. I added a few people on the bench. I kind of want to keep that rotated a lot. But with that being said, let's just hop right into this game against Piemonte. As you can see here, they have Ronaldo. He's really gonna kind of give us some problems, and obviously, you know, you have all these other guys that are really good as well. Whereas our players are not exactly proven. I mean, you have Acosta, Vines, Barrios, really kind of the only guys that are decent. I mean, Rubio's good. He scored a goal for us, but Benzet's also kind of pretty good. Price, you know, they're all good, but this is also a world-class team. All right. So this is definitely going to be a long grind of a series for sure, just because with being the Rapids, I mean, it's going to be kind of hard to, you know, compete against a lot of these teams unless we make good signings. And if we somehow get to the playoffs and string together really good performances, we can get good money out of the PCL, which I'm pretty sure would be in FIFA. If not, I mean, it's still a good accomplishment. We get money out of it, and with that we can actually, you know, develop our players a bit more, get better players. Because a lot of these guys are a bit older and not exactly going to be with the team much longer, as I can't get in this damn zone. Give me that. All right. Oh God, what the hell? Can I just like... Ah, damn. Alright. Let's go ahead and get this game started. I'm very interested to see how this plays out. I know that, again, they're a world-class team. So it's definitely going to be harder for us. As you can see there, Ronaldo. This is not the standard Juventus look. because they are not in FIFA, but it is Juventus. And I feel like they're definitely one of the top tier teams in this division, regardless of who else I would have put in here. And we basically, the keys to winning for us is we got to be able to stop Ronaldo, and being able to do that is going to be really hard, and passing has to be absolutely on point. As Benzet has the ball here, he's going to go ahead and get past the defender, who's going to make him miss as he's pushing down the field, as he's already going to try for a cross here, and that's going to be off, and that will be a corner for the Rapids. So already showing some pressure, as it's actually going to be a throw-in, already showing some pressure for the Rapids here. Not exactly something you'd expect right off the bat from this team. As Price has the ball here, he's going to go ahead and pass it up the field to Acosta, who's going to go ahead and dish it on over to Nomley. Definitely the weak point of this Rapids team is, lack of experience, as that's going to be missed as we have the shot to put it in the net there for the lead. Lack of experience compared to a lot of these other players. A lot of these players that are on our team have not played European ball. They've not played world-class soccer at all. Whereas, Ronaldo is the second best player in the world. And we also have to play Barcelona with the first best player in the world, and Messi. So we really kind of have to, and they have 10 times the money we do, as that was just kind of a terrible shot. As Vines has the ball here, as he's going to go ahead and push up the field. He's going to go ahead and just pass it over to Benzet, who has a lot of room yet again, as Benzet's really set on making pressure this game, as he's going to go ahead and cut in the field here. He's going to go ahead and push. He's going to go ahead and take a shot, and that's going to be put in the back of the net as Benzet scores the first goal in the game, and the first goal of this season for him, as we are now up 1-0 against Piemonte. This Rapids team is really showing that they can compete with some of the top teams in the world. And it's really good to see this, as it's been really good to see that we can put in goals against these teams, as they considered that an own goal, and I'm not exactly sure why, but it is considered an own goal and not a goal for Benzet. Arthur going ahead and pushing down the field here. That's going to be off of the defender there, as that was Acosta there to make the stop for the throw-in now. The reason why I didn't put so many good teams from the Premier League is that's going to be a goal, as I think that was Ronaldo, as that's going to go ahead and tie up this game, as this is not looking good, as that was not Ronaldo, that was Morata, and that's going to make this a 1-1 game. With this league, I didn't really want to put too many Premier League teams, too many La Liga teams, just kind of mixing it up, put some lower tier teams in the world. I thought Al Hilal would be kind of that nice surprise team potentially in some years, whereas Acosta's going to get the ball taken away here. As we're going to have the Sounders and Rapids that are going to kind of be on the lower tier of this. I'm going to have to work their way up, as that's going to be offsides, as that's good to see the refs finally giving us some calls. Costa's going to go ahead and pass the ball here to Nomley, who's going to go ahead and get past the defenders. That's going to be called, as that is going to be a penalty. Go ahead and just pass it right there. Not who I wanted you to pass to. That's going to be Barrios, as he's going to have all the time in the world, as he's going to get the ball taken away from him, as they're going to go ahead and get that back to the keeper, and they're going to clear it. It's good to see that we can keep up, as Dortmund actually got smoked and couldn't even score a goal against this team. So it's good to see that we actually scored more against this team than Dortmund did, as Rubio's going to have a chance here. He's going to go ahead and shoot it, and that's going to be off the keeper and off the crossbar, as that's going to be a stop, as that potentially could have made it a 2-1 game. It's going to be very well likely that we see a bunch of offense out of this league just in general, just with a bunch of goals already being scored this early in the season, which is not exactly, traditional for soccer, but, I mean, with top-tier teams and the capabilities of being able to score, you know, you're going to get some pretty high-scoring games. Chicey's moving down the field here as he's going to go ahead and cross it, and that's going to be right to the keeper. I don't know why he didn't grab that, as that's going to be put up again for a shot, and that was way too close for my liking. Rosenberry is going to go ahead and clear it, as Barrios was not able to quite get there. But it is good to see that our defense is sort of holding up against Ronaldo, at least. I figured he would kind of have his way against us, as that was a nice play by Acosta there, as that's going to be taken away for us. And I don't know what was going on there, as Nomley gave up the ball twice there, it looked like, as now Piemonte is moving down the field yet again. As Ronaldo has the ball here, as that's going to be off of Wilson, and they're pushing here, and that's going to be off of Vines, who makes a great defensive play, as that will not be a goal for Piemonte. So we go ahead and pushing here, and that's going to be off the keeper, and that will be a corner for Piemonte, as we have 3 minutes left of regular play in this first half. As that was trying to be headed there, and it didn't work, as we're going to try passing it around a little bit here, and that's going to be taken away by Colorado, as we're going to go ahead and pass it out to Barrios, who's going to have a lot of room here, as he's just going to try and get as much space as he can, as he's doing just that, as he's outrunning everyone on this team, as he's going to go ahead and cut back. He's going to go ahead and pass it over to Nomley, who's going to get the ball taken away from him, but we did push it down, as there's only 1 minute of stoppage time, as that's going to take us to half, as we are tied with Piemonte going into the half 1-1. And I will remind you that we were tied going into the last game, and it didn't work out the second half. So we have to have that second half defensive, second half presence, I should say. And they were just talking about one of their players hadn't exactly shown up this game, as Nomley had an excellent chance here to put it in the back of the net, and he misses it, which is really unfortunate, as the Sounders are taking on Chelsea, the only other game going on as of this day. So go ahead and make a sub here. As you can see, there's some new players. I'm going to go ahead and put Trusty in for Wilson. I do want to see Vint at some point, and either Warner or Lewis. I know Lewis played really good last game, which makes me excited to put him in this game. If Benzit kind of has, you know, those really kind of quiet, another quiet half. Barrios, however, he's been really kind of active just all around the field, getting us nice coverage when we need it the most, pushing down the field, as we can go ahead and pass it here to Rubio, who's going to make a push here. He's going to go and put it in the box, and he's going to go ahead and take a shot here, and that's going to be wide, as I believe the keeper actually deflected that, so we should be getting a corner here. Let's take another look. Rubio making a lot of effort here, as that was deflected, as that was an excellent attempt from him. Go ahead and put it in for Barrios, who is going to have the ball taken away, but he's going to get it right back. He's going to go ahead and take a shot here, and that's going to be put in the back of the net, as that is a goal for Barrios, his second of the season, as that's going to give us a 2-1 lead against Piemonte. Barrios is definitely showing that he is one of the better offensive players for this team, and potentially going to have more of a future than originally thought with us. Piemonte already kind of looking a little flustered, as this really seemed to be kind of a cakewalk team for them, but we were giving them as much trouble as they possibly could have imagined, as they are going to go ahead and try it, and that's going to be offsides, as Chicey yet again is just not having a good half, as they might sub him out here pretty soon if he kind of keeps that up. Colorado all around is just playing really kind of solid defense. They're passing well. They're making good shot attempts, which is kind of something we lacked in that last game, in the second half at least. So we're going to go ahead and pass it on over to Nomley, who's going to go ahead and pass it to Rubio, who's going to take a shot here, and that's going to be put in the back of the net, as that's going to give us a 3-1 lead against Piemonte, as this is really not going well for Piemonte at all. And we were heavy underdogs coming into this game, as that is going to be Rubio's second goal of the season, as both him and Barrios are the only two to be credited with a goal so far, and that's the exact same thing that happened last game. Playing excellent defense here, as we're just kind of pressuring Ronaldo left and right to make make passes instead of trying to put shots on the net. So that's going to be taken away, as Nomley has the ball yet again, as he's going to go ahead and give it to Barrios here, who's going to make a push, and that's not going to be called, as he was knocked on his ass, and that didn't exactly go his way. Ronaldo is just going to go ahead and pass it, because yet again we're looking at good defensive pressure with him. And as that's going to be a shot attempt, and that's going to be an excellent save by Yarbrough, our keeper. As you can tell, Ronaldo is just beside himself, as this team is just not performing against an underdog. We're going to go ahead and cross it here. That's going to be headed, and that's going to go ahead and be taken out of there, as that was very surprising that that was not a more aggressive attack from Piemonte. As Murata has the ball, score so far. He's going to pass it, and he's going to score, and that's going to bring the deficit for Piemonte now, as we are now looking at the Barrios is going to get the ball here. He's going to go ahead and just pass it away, as we kind of just really need to play the best defense we possibly can. Play it, just keep away, drain 4 or 5 minutes every time we touch the ball. Just kind of make sure that they don't get the ball for a little while, which I'm very okay with. Might be not the most entertaining strategy ever, but we really need to show that we can win and pass, and to do that we need to be able to pass. Alright, and that's going to be taken away by Piemonte here, as we were getting a little too carried away, and they kind of figured out what our passing strategy was. Is this going to be Ramsey on the attack, as that's going to be taken away by Abu Bakar, and that's going to be Benzet, who is technically responsible for our first goal, even though they gave it as an own goal, as Barrios here is going to go ahead and cross back in, and he's going to go ahead and try taking a shot here, and that's going to be saved by the keeper. And now Piemonte is going to go ahead and try making a push down the field. Piemonte definitely has, to say the least, not expected this play from us whatsoever, as Barrios is going to go ahead and give it to Rubio here, who's going to go ahead and put up another shot, and that's going to be put in the back of the net, as that is yet another goal for Colorado, and we're looking at a 4-2 lead here in the 81st minute. Colorado has just been shocking this game, as nobody really expected this outcome whatsoever. That is Rubio's third goal on the season, as now we are in the 82nd minute. We're going to go ahead and make some subs. I'm going to go ahead and get Vint on for Acosta, and I've seen Lewis already, but I will put Warner in for Price, kind of getting that center defensive mids kind of all freshened up for these last few minutes. Vine's there to make some pressure on defense. He's going to miss the slide tackle completely, as they're going to go ahead and give the ball up, as that's going to be Nami, and it looks like our players are still in the game at the moment, so we need to find a way to stop the time real quick. As Vines is going to make a stop here, and he's just going to go ahead and boot this down, and that's going to stay in bounds, as Rubio's going to be there, and he might potentially get there, and they're not going to get there. as Piemonte wants to push down the field before these subs come in, as that's going to be a perfect pass, as that should have gone out of bounds, but they got there just in time. This is a great attack, as that's going to be a stoppage of time now with 30 seconds left to go in regular time before stoppage, as our subs should now be coming on. Not a lot of playing time, but there will still be a couple stoppage minutes, as that's going to be a header, and he missed. As you can tell, Ronaldo is just not happy with the way his team is performing this game, and himself, as this is going to be a goal kick, as there's 2 minutes of stoppage time awarded, as Ronaldo really wants to get this ball back and score as quickly as possible, as Werner has the ball here. The sub for Price, as we are now officially past the amount of stoppage time, as he's going to go ahead and boot this, and that should go ahead and end this game, as we're going to beat Piemonte 4-2, as this was not exactly an expected outcome whatsoever. As you can hear, the home crowd is booing their own team, and we are absolutely ecstatic that we won. This is not exactly a team I expected to beat this early. It's good to see that we can compete against world-class teams such as this. I, again, was not expecting that whatsoever. But it's good to see that we can. Especially against what I feel is one of the better teams in this league. It's really good to see that. Oh, so that is an own goal, as it was knocked off of the defender's legs. As Diego Rubio had a 10.0 rating today. So we both had 9 shots, both 5 on target. We had a little bit more possession than they did. Let's go ahead and take a little bit more of a look here. They had 3 more tackles than us, 1 more foul, 1 more corner, same shot accuracy, 55%, and we had a 92 pass accuracy to their 89. So we passed better than them, which is very incredible to say the least. As it looks like the Sounders game has not been played quite yet, as that'll be interesting to see who takes that.
Time for just a few questions.
It's been difficult for Benzet recently, and you've had to try everything and try to get him back to his best. Do you think we saw him come in the other side of his bad? Looked like his old self today. I mean, he needs to get on a good run. It's not going to happen overnight, but today was a good start. It's been a difficult time for him. Now he needs to run a game to convince us all. The headlines after today will be about Rubio's stunning performance and his 2 goals, which sealed your victory. What are your thoughts about your great winning performance from Rubio? Couldn't have asked more from him, honestly. He was great. He played well, and as you said, I mean, he scored the 2 goals. His 2 goals is what sealed our victory. Not sure anybody gave your boys a chance before today's game, but you scored 4 and won the game against the heavy favorites. You must be. I am. I think the lads showed what they're capable of today. They're a great squad. It's just we need to strategize and be able to win. Is really the only way we're going to be able to beat these teams, is by strategizing, getting the right formulas, right strategies, right formations. It's really just kind of what the key is for winning. Excuse me. Alright, let's go ahead and go to the calendar and sim forward to the next game, which is going to be against Galatasaray, which is the best Turkish team, and we're going to go ahead and see what they have to say. So there's just going to be a couple. Let's go ahead and advance a day. Let's go ahead and take a look at the standings as well. Okay, so number 1 we have Chelsea, as they beat the Sounders last. Let's go ahead and see if we can get that score. They beat them 5-1, as this has just been a rough start for the Sounders to start. I don't know why I said that twice, but so we have Chelsea at first with 6 points after 2 games. Atletico Madrid also at second with 6 points. We also have Al Hilal, which they won their second game it looks like here, as they beat up on their team they played last. Or they didn't beat up on them, but they beat Galatasaray, who we're playing, 2-1. Then we have Barcelona, who's number 4, as they tied, as it looks like they tied Bayern Munich, which is very interesting to see, as they are now tied for 4th and 5th with 4 points, as we have Piemonte Calcio at 6th with 3 points, and just below is us with 3 points, even though we just got done beating them. They have a better goal differential than us, which has allowed them the slight edge into that playoff spot. Right below us we have Manchester City, who is struggling to say the least starting off this season. They are right behind us with 3 points. Hopefully they can turn that around at some point. Galatasaray is also struggling, as they have lost 2 straight now, as it's kind of proven that maybe this is kind of going to be a bit of an uphill battle for them, as I actually kind of expected them to be a playoff team. Right below them is going to be Dortmund, as they lost as well. They just lost to Manchester City 1-0, as this has also been a really rough stretch for Dortmund. Number 11, we have the Sounders with a -7 goal differential, as they've just really kind of not found their groove. They've really not been able to score. Hopefully that can change around for them. And then at dead last, we have Dundalk, who, again, I feel like is just going to be one of those teams, unless they can find some way of winning or finding players that are decent. I don't think that they will be good anytime soon. So the next game we will be taking on Galatasaray, and I am looking forward to that, and I hope you are too. And with that being said, I will catch you in the next one.